Things you need to know about that right off the top tonight. Less than 2 hours ago, Congress wrapped up its first public hearing on a bill that would lease the RFK Stadium site back to D.C.
Here's the big question. How would the land be used? Would it be used for retail, housing, and even a new stadium? Well, here's a good sign. D.C.'s acting director of the Department of General Services testified today. The city has a proven track record of doing this, creating mixed-use development and doing it well.
Yeah, we expect to learn more tomorrow. The House Oversight Committee will go through its last steps before voting. Well, now district leaders have to decide if they want to pay for a new Commander Stadium there.
And here's something else to consider. If D.C. gives stadium financing to the Commanders, what about the city's other major sports franchises?
Oh boy, tonight our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack is covering D.C. live from Capital One Arena tonight. And Flack, we know if the district gives stadium financing to the Commanders, it could send ripple effects through some of the city's other sports teams, right?
Yeah, so I mean, listen, the Commanders aren't the only DC sports franchise that wants DC government to fund a new stadium or upgrades to an arena or improvements to a ballpark. In fact, sources tell me DC government is in ongoing negotiations with Monumental Sports owner Ted Leonsis about widespread upgrades and whether the district will pay for widespread upgrades at 26-year-old Capital One Arena. Now, here's the rub with that. Leonsis is considering moving the Wizards and the Caps to a new Northern Virginia arena, and how much DC is willing to pay in upgrades to Cap One could impact that decision. Across town, Nats Park turned 15 years old this year, and the team has gone back and forth with the city about who's going to pay for renovations there, including a new high-tech scoreboard, and those are not cheap. This morning, I asked Mayor Bowser, can the city realistically finance it all? And the criticism would be, but it's going to be on the backs of taxpayers.
Listen, we have sports. We've supported sports. We brought Major League Baseball to Washington, D.C. All of those criticisms existed. We built a stadium. We built a World Series champion at that stadium, among other investments that we've made. So there are always ways to make investments that have a payoff for the city. And we know that world-class sports have a payoff for the city.
Mayor Bowser has asked the city's Department of Planning and Economic Development to fund a study that would basically lay out ways the cities can responsibly finance not just the Commanders Stadium, but also the upgrades here at Capital One and all the responsibility they have at Nats Park. But coming up tonight at 11, you're going to hear from some DC council members who say if the district goes all in on the Commanders, it could spell disaster for fans who want the Caps and the Wizards and some other teams to stay right here in DC. Leslie, Zoe, back to you.
Yeah, but based on what we heard from the mayor there, it's sounding like she's saying the city can make it work for everyone, all of our sports teams.
It's like making it sound like there's a domino effect of something that may not be good. We need good. We need good for all of them.
Put them all here. All right, Flack, thank you.